My name is Dr. Taylor Pratt. I do go by Taylor, so please feel free to call me Taylor. I am a faculty member in our Master of Arts in Higher Education and Administration and Student Affairs program. So I teach a lot with our military students, and I also do some work around AI and helping teachers learn about how to use AI in their classrooms. So that's a little bit about me. So I'll go ahead and share some slides here. So you should be seeing the information session slides. If you have any trouble seeing them, please let me know. All right, I got from Cameron. We can see. We're in business. All right. So again, thanks for attending this information session. Let me get this out of the way here. Oh, now we're not sharing. Okay, there we go. Well, looks like that doesn't want to get out of the way. And then it looks like we have Charisse. Is that how you pronounce your name? Thanks for joining us. And we've got Sarah on here as well.
Yep, you pronounced it correctly. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll go ahead and get us going. Like I said, I'm Taylor Pratt. I'm a faculty member in our Master of Arts in Higher Education and Student Affairs program. I teach a lot with our military learners and do work around integrating AI into the classroom. It's a lot of fun. And I'd be curious to see if y'all are thinking about AI. But I'll go ahead and jump in here with these slides and give you just a quick overview of the program and give some time to ask questions. So this is just a quick intro to our faculty. I won't spend time here going through all the things that everyone does, but I can tell you they're amazing. So we have 6 faculty members here in our program. And one thing that I'll just highlight is we have a diverse range of experience and expertise. And one thing that can definitely be said about our faculty is that, yes, they bring the research experience, but they also bring a diverse amount of practical experience. So they've held different roles at different universities, associations, across student affairs and more traditional higher education administration. And so our faculty bring expertise in terms of the research and a variety of experiences that they've had in higher education. And so they bring that to their teaching in the program. You're probably, if you're interested in a Master of Arts in Higher Education and Student Affairs, you're probably thinking about like, what kind of careers can I get? Again, this is a quick session, so I won't spend a ton of time here, but if you have any questions, please ask. But there's all kinds of things that you can do in higher ed. There are so many different types of professional staff, administrative roles, all kinds of things, and these are just a few representations of that. So you can think about academic advising, all the different kinds of units you have on college campuses, financial aid, registrar. We have student affairs coordinator. There's all types of coordination and project management roles. Career counselors working in development, residence life, so more in campus housing areas. And actually my background before becoming a faculty member, I mostly worked in the project management space, specifically working on grants. So I helped manage several grant-funded projects. So again, there's a plethora of things that you can do in higher education. And in this degree, really gives you those solid skills to think about those different roles and move into those different roles in higher education. So we try to think about all those robust careers that you might have. And so here's just a quick snapshot of our program. So we have a few different tracks. The administration track. So this is ideal for professionals with some experience who are maybe seeking to advance in some way in higher education. So move into a different role or move up in their career. So we focus a little bit more on the leadership, policy, and specifically the organizational change piece. Our student affairs track, again, this is helpful for those who want to start careers in student affairs, especially if you don't bring in a lot of experience. So there are 2 sort of internship opportunities built into that track. And also, a lot of folks who come into the student affairs track are interested in graduate assistantship. So, for folks who are maybe looking for a program with more experience opportunities to build their professional experience, it's a great track for them. And we do have a sports administration track, and that's specifically within higher education. So, folks who are specifically interested in working in higher ed, but doing something related to athletics or sports, we have a concentration geared towards that in partnership with our sports administration program. And then just a couple of programs highlights. So if you've looked at our website, you'll likely seen we have a variety of course formats, and a lot of them are accelerated options. We've worked really hard. We're one of the first programs to implement 8-week classes. So we've worked really hard to think about, how we can help you balance coursework in a way that's manageable, especially if you are a working professional. So in the spring and fall, we do offer 8-week versus 16-week courses most of the time. And so you can take a class that's in the first half of the semester or the second half of the semester. We'll refer to them as term 1 and term 2 oftentimes. We have a 3-week May course and 6-week summer courses, and occasionally we do offer a special 3-week December course as part of our winter term. So we have a variety of course formats that lends itself well to a very flexible schedule, so that if you're studying part-time with us while working, and you have other commitments in your life, you have a variety of kind of timing options and course options to choose from. We do have a pretty diverse student body. So we have, again, all the way from recent undergraduates. I mentioned that I work with military students, so we do have a large population of military students. And a lot of our students, again, there's a mix of folks who are working full or part-time, people who are parents, all kinds of different experiences that folks are bringing to this program. We also don't require a GRE, so that's another thing that I'd highlight about our program and our flexibility. So here's just, again, a snapshot of the curriculum. So again, our goal is to equip students with the knowledge and skills necessary to lead and be successful in the field of higher education. So we do have some common courses. So we have those different tracks, but some common courses that everyone takes regardless of the track they're in. So we typically start with program development and assessment, organization and administration of higher ed. So really thinking about, how is higher ed organized? What are the common structures? How do we actually create change within an organization and assess that change? And then we have our advanced core, thinking about legal issues. How do we effectively manage educational resources, diversity in higher ed? So all these different topics and different skill sets that would come into play in any higher ed role. And then, of course, there are the specialized courses by concentration. I won't spend a ton of time here, but if you're in the administration track, you have some electives that you can choose. And then we have the exit requirement, which is, again, a very hands-on. You're actually designing a project yourself, so you're getting that experience. It's going to help prepare you for a higher ed role. Student affairs, again, you always are going to have some electives built into these tracks. Again, choice that you get to make about shaping your program of study. And you'll see there are some specific courses there for the student affairs track that, again, tailor it to learning specifically about student affairs and those roles and the skills needed for student affairs work. And then sports administration, again, classes specifically tied to working within athletics and sports in higher education. So you can sort of see how those tracks differ a bit and tie directly to the topics of those tracks. And then, like I mentioned, each track has some electives built in. So you have some choice there, and these are just some examples of the classes that have been offered in terms of electives. And then I talked about this a little bit, the course format options, but spring, summer, and fall, we have some 8-week course options, and they typically are online. And we do offer some in-person classes that are one night a week. We do occasionally offer our 8-week online classes with an optional in-person weekend session as well. Those are rare, and again, just another option that you might choose if interested. Summer, I mentioned there's 3-week and the 6-week options during the different summer terms, and then occasionally we do offer specifically Lead 680 in the winter term as a 3-week course. You may have seen that professional project as one of the required courses, regardless of the track that you take in this program. Again, that one thing I'll just highlight is getting that hands-on experience, actually applying the things that you're learning in the curriculum. So this is an example of that, where again, students they sort of come up with a contract and they design a specific project that they want to do, and then they execute that project during the class. So again, it's a project-based experience. We're actually getting to put into practice what you're learning throughout the class and throughout the program. Questions around application deadline. So we do have rolling admissions. So that means you can apply when you're ready, and usually start when you're ready. There are some preferred deadlines. We get some questions about that. Really, when you want to care about the preferred deadlines is if you're, looking for financial aid, looking at assistantships, meeting those preferred deadlines help you stay on track for applying for assistantships and financial aid. So do pay attention to preferred deadlines if financial aid and assistantships are of interest to you. And I've talked about the terms and start dates. So like I said, those 8-week courses in the spring and fall, you'll see classes starting in, for example, fall, August and October, or spring, January and March for those different class dates. We also have a graduate certificate in organizational change that's embedded within the degree program. So as long as you take 4 of the 5 courses that count towards that org change certificate, so that's Lead 680, 684, 693, 694, and 697. Not something you need to remember right now. But if you take 4 of those classes, you actually come out of the degree having earned not just the master's, but also the org change certificate. So that's neat that you can walk out with 2 credentials without having to take any extra classes because it's embedded within that master's program. The only extra cost there is the application fee. You do have to apply to the org change certificate program and that $40 application fee. But the classes are a part of the master's program, so you can earn them simultaneously. And then tuition and books, so $830 graduate tuition for our active duty military students. We have the $250 military tuition rate, and then we do estimate that books are around $500 total for the 8 required courses. And there may be some variability depending on electives and things like that. And so why choose the HESA program? We are a Research One university. So again, we have strong research faculty and graduate level research projects and collaboration opportunities with these faculty. We're consistently ranked top 10 for our program in the country. We're a military-friendly gold school. And like I said, our faculty really do bring that blend of research and practitioner expertise. So they have a wide range of experience within the field of higher education and student affairs, and they definitely bring that lens to their teaching and their work with students in the program. And we do have a pretty solid alumni network, so lots of folks who have gone through the program and provide a lot of valuable connections and support, especially for students thinking about future career paths. And then there's just some contact information. So our program director is Dr. Jake Gross. He couldn't be here today, but he's always on email and very responsive. So you can definitely reach out to him with any questions. We have our enrollment counselors via online at louisville.edu, financial aid opportunities, and then tuition information on our U of L website. And so yeah, we have rolling admission. So apply today, apply in the future. No GRE required. It's easy to get started whenever you're ready with our program. And that takes me to questions. And I'll stop sharing. Any questions, Charisse? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. So I know you said we can apply when we're ready and then start when we're ready, but I am already an employee in student affairs, so I know
Mm-hmm.
I would get like the tuition, what is it,
Yeah.
remission. So
Yeah.
when would be the best time to like fill out that form? Like when I'm already like applying for grad school, or like once I'm already like accepted, or when I'm ready to start, like exactly when?
You're talking about filling out a form for tuition remission?
Correct.
Yeah, so it may have changed. So actually, I went through our PhD program, Charisse, as a employee at U of L, and so I actually didn't have to do any paperwork. It was automatic. I don't know if Sarah has any additional stuff she'd add here. It was automatic as an employee here. So once I applied and enrolled in classes, like it was sort of taken care of. I didn't really have to do anything extra.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that I would add on to that is just to reach out to HR to make sure
Mm,
that they know that you're planning to start the program. Check and
mm,
see if they have any processes that you need to follow to make sure that you're coded appropriately. And then the tuition piece is automatically taken out as a part of your benefits.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Thank you so much.
yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I really didn't run into too many issues, like personally. It went pretty smoothly. Well, that's great advice, Sarah, about just giving them a heads up. That could definitely, I could see where that would streamline some things.
Yeah, I had came back like I started working here back in 2016, and I did go back for my bachelor's, but I could not remember if I, filled out the form then, or was it, like a different process between, undergrad and graduate. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'll definitely reach out to HR to see if there's anything else I'll need to do.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so um, they have the two classes per semester, so that applies whether it's summer, fall, spring. So again, whenever you're ready to start to apply, then yeah, I think from my experience, it was pretty straightforward. I think I started in a fall, yeah, but you can start at any semester with tuition remission.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, any other questions on your mind?
I think that's all that I have for right now.
Okay. And you said you already work in student affairs?
Yep, been here for 5 years. Just now decided to go back for my master's.
Yeah. Is there anything like you're hoping to do, um, like career wise, or you're like, I want to get in the program and see kind of what options maybe like might open up?
It's kind of both. So I've been in the Career Center for 5 years now, and there could be a possibility of a new position opening up. And
Mm,
so I think this would be like a great thing to do. But also, it's the powers above us that will say if that new position will come in,
yeah.
to reality. So this is also like a preparation just in case, things don't work out the way that we plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm,
To-
I'm definitely like wanting to stay in the career center, but if not,
mm.
like I said, I'll at least have the knowledge of the umbrella of student affairs.
Yeah, no, that's great. Having the experience is super helpful. And yeah, I love that mentality. It's great to try to plan and stay, can I move up because I love what I'm doing, but also have that flexibility to apply for other roles. That's great.
Thank
Really
you.
awesome. Well, all right. Well, Charisse, thank you again for attending. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them or reach out to our program director, Dr. Gross. And but yeah, don't feel like you have to hang around. I'm sure you have a busy day if you're good.
Okay, thank you so much, Taylor and Sarah. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Bye bye.